Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV. You can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Roland Sans Bristol Leather Jacket, available at RevZilla.com. Introduced in 2015, the Bristol is going to be the long-awaited replacement for the Mission. Now, the Mission was a bit of a heavier jacket, where the Bristol is going to be a little bit more lightweight. That Mission was over the 1.0 mark from a weight of the leather. The Bristol's coming in that 0.8, 0.9. If we think about current model jackets from Roland Sans like the Ronin, again, going to be much, much lighter. You do have a black and a brown version, but if we really look at some of the other things that differentiate it, it's still going to be sport cut, it's still going to be waist length, but again, more quilting. It's for the first time that we're seeing in a leather from Roland Sans. You're going to get that stretch panel on the inside of the arms. And again, it's just going to have that slightly different style to it. It's going to be a little bit more retro inspired, a little bit more of a waist sport option for 3-season warm weather riding. But in my estimation, even though it is a little bit more lightweight, it still is a full leather, which is going to be best suited for fall and really springtime riding. The summer, depending on your temperature tolerance, that's going to be up to you how far you stretch it out. Now, quick note on sizing. Hive Brian to my left, wearing the new Bristol. 6 foot 195, 42-inch chest. He's wearing a size large. In our estimation, this fits more in line with what we've seen from the RSD collection. We've seen a couple of their newer textiles fit a little bit more on the generous side. This is going to be classic cut in the body with a lot of room to adjust it. You're going to see that when I get into the hip gussets. But on the sleeves, it's going to be a little bit more narrow. There is that nice articulation. Again, a little bit more of that sporty feel. Brian's going to be a large. That's what he's going to line up with the size chart. Again, no questions asked there. It's going to fit him spot on. And keep in mind, too, I'd love to hear your comments, your questions, your feedback. Click our logo and subscribe to us at RevZilla TV. Stay up to date with all the gear reviews we're constantly rolling out. Now, diving back into the nuances here. We talked about the lighter weight leather. We talk about this quilting here along the chest and on the sleeves. Keep in mind, when you see the quilting here on the Bristol, it does have a little bit of light foam backing to it, so it keeps it a little bit beefier, adds a little bit of weight to it, makes it stand up. It creates a little bit more of that depression there in the texture, so again, adding to some of the interest on the jacket. Working our way up to the collar. The collar's been redesigned. Single snap. It does have the snapback, and you notice at the collar that it's going to be a softer material. It's a bit of a cotton there that wraps across the top. That's going to allow you a bit more of a chance to stay comfortable if you start to sweat into this jacket. If we look at it, you can see even here on our sample, the Bristol's going to scuff up. It's going to patina. This is the brown version. The black's going to show a little bit less of that scuffing, but again, over time, it's going to break in quite nicely depending on how you wear it and how you ride it. Basic hand warmer pockets along the sides, and if we look down the left side of the sleeve here, again, you're going to get a good shot of that stretch panel, which is going to allow you to have a little bit more dynamic range on your arms, and it's also going to allow for a little bit of breathability. Notice the Roland Sans logo embossed along the left sleeve as well. Now, Hive Brian, turn and face away from me. Good shot down here of the outside of the sleeve. Remember, this jacket will take armor. This is a riding jacket. Shoulders, elbows, as well as back can be upgraded with the RSD CE Level 1 armor. That is sold separately. And again, looking at the sleeve here, you have your quilting, you have some light padding behind it, you have more elastication at the top of the elbow, and then down into the bottom side, or the bottom of your elbow into your forearm, again, outlining where your armor would go. But what I really like about it is, put your arm up like that. Wow, you knew where I was going with that. Elasticated panel along your shoulder blade. So again, if you have clip-ons or club bars, depending on the position of your body, you're going to have this jacket move a little bit more dynamically with you. And the fact that it's a little bit more lightweight, which some people might love, some people might want the heavier leather like the Ronin. Again, it's going to give you a little bit more flexibility. Now, if you move down here and if we look around the waistline, this is where this jacket, in my opinion, can be improved. You have a ton of room here with like a 4 to 5 inch gusset. Really, however you're built, depending on what your belly looks like, you have a lot of room to move. It is Velcro. I would have loved to have seen them do maybe a buckle or something that tied in with the hardware on the front of the jacket. Just my own personal opinion, but there's so much style that carries through in this jacket. And again, I feel like the Velcro could have been taken to that next level, maybe in the next iteration. Turn backwards for me there, HVB. Now, if we look at the back, again, your collar is no surprise. You have no armor that's going to come stock in the center of the jacket. You'd update that later. And what I really like is they're giving you this nice full drop seat that also has that quilting that's going to have some of that foam backing again. So it comes down nice and far. It's going to give you a little bit more quilting and a little bit more range if you're in the 3/4 of the tuck position, depending on the type of cafe bike or sport bike that you might be riding. Come back around to the front for me there, HVB. Now, if you open up the jacket, it's going to be your classic Roland Sans colorway, but it's not going to be your satin liner. It's actually going to be a mesh liner. Knowing this is more sport-oriented, it's also a little bit more geared for more aggressive riding potentially. So again, giving you the ability to stay a little cooler, a little bit better breathable versus that satin liner that we might see on the heavier jackets, which again gives you a little bit of an area of protection from the leather against your body. body, but again, might take you deeper into the temperature range. If you also look at the other nuances on the inside, they're using that perforated leather up on the inside of the main zipper connection, up around the collar. Again, it's just a really nice style touch. That's a big part of the story from Roland Sands, is you're looking at not just great leather and great components, but they're really taking a lot of thought and care about the components that bring it together, because they're going to complete the look. There are a lot of guys that are looking for jackets like this that really care about the aesthetic of their bike and care about the aesthetic of their gear, and this is a nice package that pulls it all together. So remember, you have the Bristol. From here, if you want a heavier leather, you're going to go into something like the Ronin in the same flavor. It's going to be that classic fit from Roland Sands, which is right down the middle. It's not going to be baggy like the Barfly. It's not going to be aggressive like the Ronin. Again, it's going to fit a good group of riders. The next step in your journey is to click right here, read other rider reviews of the new Roland Sands Bristol at RevZilla.com. You don't have to take my word for it. As always, we're going to ship for free over 39 bucks. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, subscribe to us at our RevZilla TV YouTube channel. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.